Welcome to the Sales Mindset Podcast, where we talk everything sales, mindset, success. I'm here again with Brian.
Hello.
And we're going to go right into our first question.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about what daily practices can contribute to a more positive and optimistic outlook on life.
Okay. So, thinking emotional intelligence and thinking about how your emotions are generally under your control if you know what you're doing with them. So, what I do might not necessarily work for you or the listeners, but I'll talk about what I do and definitely talk about what you might do. And then, of course, part of that's going to be finding what else you can do to work on that.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to understand where our emotions come from, what has triggered the emotions, where our minds happen to be. It's like riding a bike. Where you look is where you'll go. And same thing, whatever emotions you happen to be focused on are the emotions that you're going to roll with. So it sounds simple, but in practice, it will take a long time. Well, not a long time, but it could take a while to really do it. But you find your happy triggers or your positive triggers or whatever, and you focus on them. So if you want to be happy, be happy. Sounds really simple, but
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with a lot of rejection or something else that's going on, it can be very challenging. You want to think about what you're focusing on. If something has triggered you, has made you angry, and you allow that to occupy that space, you let it live rent free in your mind, as they sometimes say, then that's on you. Now, that being said, moving your mind off of that can be very difficult, especially if you're dealing with something that has your attention right away, or it has, it's something that's recent, if you will, or coming up soon. So it's not something that you're going to master in one day or 1 week, but you have to get used to practicing it. Something that I've done when I really needed to shift my focus, my mindset, my attitude, is I'll try and put someone else in a good mood. And so one thing that I did once was, if there's one place you're going to find annoyed people, it's a cashier at a checkout line. And so I had to go shopping anyway, so I went shopping, and as I got to the registry, I'm in a foul mood. I've got things that are really gnawing at me at this point in time. But I see someone who's also, she's not taking it out on customers, but you can see that it's being reflected in the people she's talking to. So I decided to reflect something back on her. And so I was really nice to her, not stupid, flirty nice, because that's how it can be construed at some point in time, but in a way that I know that customers weren't treating her that particular day. I cracked a self-depreciating joke. It was either short or bald. They're low-hanging fruit for me. And she was chuckling, she was smiling. And as I left, I did feel better. And when I looked back, I could see that the person behind me was smiling more than they had been before they had walked up. And so now we've got this positive reflection going on. So did I do it because I wanted to make someone feel better? Well, that was secondary. I did it because of me. So it was selfish. I'm not going to claim some grand altruism for making people better, but at the same time, certainly wasn't negative in how I did it. So another thing is to try to catch negative thoughts when they get into your head early. And it may start when you wake up in the morning. Recognize that the more tired that you are, the harder it will be to manage your emotions and have that positive outlook. So if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're hangry, you haven't eaten properly, and you're losing energy because you're focusing on a bunch of different things. This is ego depletion theory rearing its head. And so you have to make sure that you're giving it the space, your mind, to recover from controlling your emotions, from being tired, from all of that stuff. And so oftentimes it does mean that you have to put yourself in situations that are going to relax what you're doing.
I hear that. I definitely agree that you are what you do. I think we've talked about it before, but that kind of comes down to like cognitive behavioral therapy, where the best way to control your emotions and your thoughts is to control your actions and
That's
behave in a way
Yeah.
that would be reflective of who you want to be or how you want to feel. And I like the example of the grocery store, and it's actually something that I've been trying to like really take on myself, as regardless of the circumstances, try to show love and care to the people that people around me in general, but especially the people that I care about. And I think that is really overlooked, where I think that there's an unfortunate trend of negative mental health in general going on. Not sure what that's all about. There's plenty of theories, but nobody is, or, I haven't necessarily been safe from it. I'll get like really angry or really upset, and I'll carry that with me for days or weeks on end for however reason. And I found that the thing that has helped me the most is, instead of always thinking, what can I do to feel better, which is sometimes a good thing, where it's, I'm going to work on my routine. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I, me. But I found that the most effective thing, in addition to maintaining a positive routine, of course, is just letting go of my ego for a second and saying, just because I'm upset doesn't mean everybody else needs to be as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something good for my roommates. When I'm upset because somebody didn't do a chore, somebody messed something up, I'm not going to be pissy and be sarcastic to them. Rather show kindness and do something nice for no reason. Or if somebody asks for a ride, instead of coming with an excuse to not give them, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I can ride you up there real quick.
Yeah.
And that spills onto yourself much better than almost anything else, I think.
Something else I thought of is, you can do this without any aid, if you will, but just smile.
Yeah.
You mentioned acting or actions, and that's what made me think about this. I think they've said put a pencil or something in your mouth so that you are already engaging the muscles to smile. But let's say you need something to force you, watch some comedy.
Yeah.
It could be comedy TikToks if you just needed a 3-minute or something like that, or put on a good session. Spotify has so much comedy on there that if you need to laugh, it's hard to be in a bad mood after you've been laughing for 30 minutes.
Yeah, something to keep the energy up. It's really easy to focus on what's negative. That seems to occupy so much more space. Maybe it's a threat or something, and it feels like you have to respond to it. But if you can replace that with something that's more positive.
Now, surround yourself with positive people too.
Yes. Yeah.
You are the average in so many ways. You're the average of the people that you're around, and if everyone else around you is negative, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah,
you're going to be negative too.
Yeah, I definitely can see that very regularly with the people that I spend time with. I notice that we pick up each other's habits or maybe ways of speaking sometimes, and when you notice, you can't unnotice it. You might not even know who started it, but you can see like a certain phrase or a certain attitude or response to a behavior that everybody takes on. I find it really interesting, actually.
So I was listening to Dave Ramsey talk this morning, and he said something that it didn't surprise me, but at the same time it surprised me. I don't know if there's a term for that, but he said that in a group of friends, everyone's income will be 20% of within each other's income.
Oh, interesting.
Because of how similar you become like those around you. So it's real important to consider who you're spending your time with.
Yeah.
In his case, he was talking about his daughters hanging out with junkies or something like that in high school.
Yeah.
But, if at the end of the day, do you want to hang out with people that are just going to bitch about their day? And I think listening to people vent is important.
That's the same thing.
To a point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they need to get you off of that just as much as you're going to get them off that.
Yeah.
So, and same thing now that we're so uber connected. Does that word even work anymore?
Yeah.
It's actually a company, but we're so interconnected. Are people only complaining over cell phone text messages?
Yeah.
As if there's, or Facebook messages or whatever you happen to be using, or are they sending you funny things throughout the day?
Yeah.
It might seem like it's a waste of time. Why are you sending me all these memes? But if it's brightening your day,
yeah,
and I think that there's some value in there. And when if someone does that to you, instead of saying here's, I guess taking a locus of control look at this, if someone does something that annoys you, but they have the best intention, maybe try changing your mindset about that and be like, well, I should feel good because this person's trying to make me laugh, even though I find this particular meme bland or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Someone
You
cares
appreciate
about me.
Yeah.
Someone was thinking about me.
Appreciate someone else's input.
Yeah, whether it's text, Snapchat, whatever. Yeah.
And that's huge, actually. I think that goes such a long way. There's something that's kind of weird, and I definitely feel it as well, going out of my way to say something nice for no reason. It almost feels like some sort of, almost like a low stakes violation of a social norm. Just like, just for no reason, say like, you look great today.
Have you done?
But
have you ever randomly done that?
Very rarely. I do it. I've been trying to do it, specifically that, because I've thought about it lately. But before that, not really. It's not something that pops in your mind to say.
I try to look for something where there's definitely effort has been put in.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound trite or random.
Yeah.
So it looks like someone has done something really involved with their hair. They're wearing really cool glasses or quirky glasses or something like that. That's where I'll do that.
Mm.
You know, it's funny. Even when I'm running in the morning, right? As I'm running, I'll automatically just be like, hey, how's it going? You know, and it's amazing how people perk up when you're giving them a little extra. It was 2 Sundays ago. I was on one of my really long runs. And there were some other people, they were just walking. And I was just like, they're walking. They didn't look unhappy, but definitely, you know, I was like, I'm waking these guys up. High five, high five, high five, high five. At first they're like, huh? And but you could feel the energy just go up.
Yeah.
They're all into that high five.
Yeah.
And it is a bummer when you're like, high five, and someone's like, but you just got to roll with it, and you got to laugh at yourself for it.
Yeah. I actually had a sort of similar experience, but I didn't start it when I was running. This is a while ago. This is months ago. But I remember I was running, and it was like a Friday night, so people were starting to go out and whatnot. But I had something to do in the morning, I think. And I was out for a run, and I passed by a group of college kids who were going out and doing something. One guy's like, I love the hustle, man. Yeah. And he screamed, and I screamed. I'm like, yeah. And like everybody like erupted. I thought it was really funny, actually.
No, that's sharing that positivity.
It raises the energy.
Exactly.
It really does boil down to community in the way that you talk to people, the way that you take it on yourself, even the way you view things.
Yeah. But pay attention to yourself. Like, recognize when you're starting to get down. So we're talking sales. We're talking lots of rejection, lots of frustration, especially if you're 3 weeks into a drought. That's going to really get to you. Just know, and you focus and know that next sale, even if that next call is a rejection, you're that much closer. Sales is a game of numbers, and so you'll always get there. However, you do have to have that positivity.
Yeah.
If there's a difference between, hello, Mr. Smith, I'm here to help you in your business, versus, hey, Mr. Smith, my kids are hungry. You know, the old cliche of trying to appeal to people's sympathies.
Yeah. Try to appeal to people's. I like the idea of that. I don't think I've ever gotten that before, but I would like to hear that. Somebody calling like, sorry, man, I don't want it. It's like, my kids, they need to go to school. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. No, there's a movie. I don't know the movie. I've just seen the clip where this consultant or whatever comes into someone's office and it's like, take that photo of your wife. She weighs too much in that photo. Your kids look way too happy. You need to change it up. And I'm like, oh my God, don't do that. I'm not saying do that. But, and you shouldn't be leveraging that. You should really be focused on the customer and be excited for that possibility of the customer gaining value from what you're doing.
So I guess to pull it back to daily practices, we kind of hit one really large niche, which is put in what you want to get back, as far as put in positive energy. But what about more logistically, as far as things that you can do? Like we've talked a lot about routine before.
Okay.
Workout routine, or having a set schedule, times that you eat.
So, and I'm actually bad at this. It's actually a harder habit, at least for me, to get into than people say it is. But meditation.
Okay. Yeah.
So morning meditation. Some people will set their intentions. Some people will write their intentions down. Down to, I will be happy today. Down to, I will be positive today. Down to, I will get that sale today.
Yeah.
And, just thinking with that positive affirmation that you put down there. I think people make fun of them, but the motivational posters do something for people.
Sure.
I know plenty of people that have these calendars that have affirmations on them. One of the things that I use a daily journal. So my trick is I have a Word document that has each month in it, and then each day I just write what I need to do in that particular day. And if I need to feel positive, if I need to, I can write a quote down.
Yeah.
For that, so you can make your own journal, if you will. Journaling is a very good thing to throw into your routine, whether it's logistical journal, this is what I plan on doing today, this is how my day went, and this is how I want to feel, down to a reflection journal.
Yeah.
And a reflection journal will really help you get in touch with yourself.
Yeah. That's a big one.
I am a huge fan of activity in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So wake up and get active. There are some people that say do it before you've had your coffee.
Mm-hmm. I've actually been trying to do that.
And I'm sure there's research that shows why you would want to do that. But either way, do something active. You don't have to, like, tomorrow morning, I probably should be doing a 7-mile run. You don't have to do a 7-mile run.
Yeah.
You can do a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
The walk with the dog in the morning is part of that. I've actually missed it. When I bought the house, I have a yard that I just click your thing.
Yeah.
But there's something about walking her and just getting that fresh air, even though I've already been active. So I add that to my activity level in the morning.
Mm.
You don't have to even go outside. If it's raining, we're in Florida, if it's like steamy hot, if you're in the north and it's ice cold or snowing or something like that, you can get up and walk around your house. You can do air squats, which are actually very good activity to help you with your physical nature. Do that throughout the day as well. There are some days, actually, this is probably very good, especially if you work in an office or a place that doesn't have very much natural light. On the hour, go outside and walk around your building at least once.
Yeah.
Right? As long as you don't work we're talking sales, so it's all about what you do anyway.
Yeah.
But get out and get that fresh air. Take your calls on that walk if it's not loud out.
Yeah.
So that you're getting that sunlight when the sunlight is there.
Yeah. That
we are not meant to be in caves. We evolved out in the sun.
Yeah.
In Africa. So there's plenty of sun, right?
Mm.
So that could also be part of it. And you can build that into your routine as well.
Yeah. And you can feel the sunshine. Like, that's a big one where there's a huge trend on a yearly basis, cyclical basis. You have seasonal depression, where it gets darker, it's not as sunny, or you're not going outside as much because of it's raining, or however people end up getting on a lower mood because of that. And I definitely feel that if I don't go outside or I'm working indoors for a good chunk of the day, or I'm just like working on my computer, I don't step outside a whole lot, I definitely feel it taking a toll.
Especially important if you're working up north and the sunrise and sunset is so late early.
Yeah.
So you might have, I remember being up in Philadelphia, and in the winters the sun might not be up until after I got to the office. Now, thankfully, at the place that I worked, I had giant windows. So we actually never needed to turn the fluorescent lights on. Hate fluorescent lights. But the sun would be down by the time you left. So, the further north, that's a big problem. What are you going to do in the meantime to make sure that you're getting that natural sun? And I know that there's natural lights out there.
Yeah.
But go outside, get that fresh air. Yeah. That can also affect your mood. And you mentioned routine, so you build your routine to that. It also helps predictability.
Yeah.
Have your one-on-ones while you're walking outside. If you're a salesperson or a sales manager, you should be doing one-on-ones every now and then. Do that while you're outside. That'll increase the positivity as well.
Yeah.
Or just use it as an opportunity to bond with people who are in your organization. Those bonds are going to be there just as much. They're just as important as the 5 people you spend your time with. Well, yeah, the people in your office that you spend time with as well.
Yeah.
And if you make it into I can't see a good sales manager not being receptive to this idea of, hey guys, it's halfway through the morning or halfway through the afternoon. Let's take a quick lap around the building to get some sun and fresh air.
Yeah. I do like that. You don't really hear about stuff like that, but I think that would be a really good thing. Something I like to do is catch up with people that maybe aren't in my immediate life, like a phone call while I walk around outside on the weekends, or for whatever reason, if I have time at lunch or something like that, just call up a friend and chat for a few minutes. I think that concept of having a routine to go on outside, but also building it in socially is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think another thing that can also affect your time management, which can affect your mood, is not having a routine. Yeah, there's Ralph Waldo Emerson, routines or habits, the hobgoblin of little minds, or I have no idea what the quote is, but this idea that routine is bad, it was Thoreau. But routine for your own mental health can actually be very good.
Yeah.
And breaking it intentionally can be good as well. But if you've got that routine, if you've got your time management set properly, that's going to continue to put you in that good mood. We talk ego depletion theory. The night before sets up your day that you're going to have the next day. And so a big piece of that, so that you don't get stuck with all of the choices that you have to make and that exhaust your mind, is set yourself up for the next day. Set your supplements up if you need to have supplements. Talk about diet when we're talking positivity, that matters as well too. Set your clothes out so that you don't have to worry about it. I do mine the week before.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to worry about it the night before. I can just
grab it.
And that's down to the workout clothes too. So the workout clothes set up the way they're supposed to be set up. And if I don't, it definitely affects my day.
Interesting.
So, and it just makes me happy. It's like, I don't have to think. Everything's done for me. I did it for myself.
Yeah.
Everything's done for me. Blessed to those who have wives or husbands who help them with that. But if not, then you've got the responsibility to do it yourself.
I really like doing a to-do list the night before. I know some people like to start, like when they start working, they'll like write down all the stuff they have to do, but I hate doing that. I like knowing what I'm going to do the day before. That way, when there's something about planning paralysis, or what do you call it?
Analysis paralysis?
Yeah. Where I find the planning what to do sometimes takes longer than what it should, especially when the work that's looming overhead is like right there.
So that's my Sunday evening. Sunday evening, after I finished my evening grading for that area, the up through Wednesday, I look at my calendar gets blocked that week. You don't at me on Monday and expect to get on me on Friday. It's not going to happen. So especially because Sunday, I'm going to put down what my entire time blocking is, at least through Wednesday, if not further. It depends on how much uncertainty might exist in my week for sales that I'm doing for this stuff or whatever, or flexibility that I think I need to build in. But that's all built in, and maybe I'm too proactive about it if I'm doing it the Sunday for the entire week. But that way, again, think about how delightful it was as a kid when everything was done for you.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it anymore.
Being your own parent. But the added element that you get to schedule your recreation time, and you should schedule your recreation time as well.
Yeah,
right? You got to take time for yourself and your family.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was good.
I think so.
Yeah. So take care of yourself, put yourself in good habits, and you'll be able to keep that positive outlook. But don't get down on yourself if you're not always positive. There's going to be those days. So, any final thoughts?
Spread love and kindness.
I love it. All right. We'll see you next time.